the entire force of a, wait for it, because it'll come back, Minnesota state city by the name of Goodhue resigned en masse. Every single one of them turned in their papers, except for the chief, who has stated that he has no prospects and no one is looking for the job. So this city is going to be left without cops. Now, show me the incentives and I'll tell you the results. This is a line that I go back to over and over again because this is what you can use to predict human behavior. Why did the entire police force in Minnesota resign? Could it be for low pay? Yeah, they're paying them $22 an hour. That was definitely a part of it. But why now? Could it be because the morale of police has been broken? That all of the defund the police, that they think that they're going out there to protect, and yet the moment that they do something that the city, somebody else, the leftist activists consider to be incorrect, then they get the full force of the law thrown at them, while all the arrests that they make, especially in leftist jurisdictions, are released like you do with fish in a lake when you want to repopulate it. That's what they're doing with the criminals. Repopulate the cities with the criminals. We don't want to take them out of circulation. And then you have Tou Thao, the Vietnamese police officer in the George Floyd case in Minnesota, who was recently sentenced to almost 5 years in prison because he didn't show sufficient remorse. The man merely stood there blocking the crowd while his superior officer knelt on Floyd's neck. This was a common police tactic that was used in their trainings. This man did not believe that he was doing anything wrong. He has nothing to apologize for. It was an unfortunate series of events. But for him, he's getting thrown into the slammer for 5 years of his life. Do you not think that that weighs on policemen that just want to go home to their families, that want to do something good when they're underappreciated and underpaid? Do you think it's random that this happened in a blue state where now a town is going to lack a police presence? What's going to happen? What's the cure? Police salaries are going to skyrocket because you have disincentivized them from taking on this occupation, because part of the pay used to be that you were appreciated by your community. Instead, today you are demonized. You have ACAB, all cops are bastard, plastered everywhere in Portland. Do you think that anybody is going to stay on the job who's not incredibly close to that pension? Why do you think that so many people are leaving the police force? It's because the Democrats, because the leftists, in their mind-altered state of confusion and hate in order to demonize Donald Trump and get him out of office, said, this is all Trump's fault. This is the fascist who's in office. All cops are bastards. Black lives matter. Yeah. But look at the effects that it's having on the ground in your cities. If you live in Minnesota, this might come to you because of the incentives that are being offered by the communists that throw an innocent man who's just standing there as his superior officer performs what he believes is his duty and is within his training, and he gets 5 years in jail because he happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and his police badge did not protect him. They want to do away with immunity now. So what? They're going to get sued by private citizens for carrying out dangerous duties when they have to make decisions in less than a split second? And I've had 2 run-ins with the police that were not pleasant. Both times they thought that I was a suspect in a case, and they held me for a great deal of time, especially the first time. I got home at 4 a.m. and I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning in order to go shoot something in Los Angeles. The other time was a less robust moment of police interrogation. They let me go pretty quickly, but they still shined that really bright light into my eyes and gave me the 5th degree, but it was only for a few minutes that time. So I'm not saying that police are perfect, but I know that they have a hard job to do and that they are sworn to protect the public. And we should be thankful that police exist. But the leftists, the commies that want to destroy America are taking away and disincentivizing police, And now the small town of 1,200 people, Goodhue in Minnesota, are lacking a police force. Do you think the criminals are necessarily going to target that town? Well, at least with no police roaming the streets to save the citizens from the criminals, they also can't arrest the citizens who try to take out the criminals, as they did in Stockton, California, when a man who had threatened to kill the store owners of the 7-Eleven, the clerks, the sheiks, and finally, the third time that he came in and robbed them and tried to throw all of the cigarettes into a giant garbage can, they finally put him down on the ground and started to beat him with a stick. Thank God that they weren't arrested, because the guy had a knife and because he had threatened them. For whatever reason, in Stockton, California, they didn't come down as they would have if Alvin Bragg had been the DA. Still, if you want to be a cop, just realize that you're unappreciated and that the equation is tipping towards finding another job. And now Americans are going to go underprotected and police salaries are going to skyrocket. I wouldn't doubt that they could double or at least go up 50% in order to attract new people to the job. This is the fault of the communists, leftists, who are frankly destroying America and extremely happy to do so.